Welcome to this video portion of From Swarm to Starlink. I want to take just a couple minutes to explain this portion on the middle left side of the poster connecting the FCC Operations and Spectrum to the International Telecommunications Union. In the United States, private companies would apply where they're wanting to obtain international spectrum or coordination. They would apply to the ITU through the Federal Communications Commission. So that is why I have these two connected here. International Spectrum Management is the ITU, the FCC is the United States Spectrum Management. So this is what I'm going to be talking about and just showing a little bit here to supplement the poster. Now, the e-submission of satellite network filings is pretty much the core area. However, as I said, the FCC is the entity, the administration that would be applying on behalf of US private entities, private parties. So the likelihood is that we would not have a login and be able to submit here. However, we can search what has been submitted, and you can go to e-submission of satellite network filings, go to this URL, itu.int, itu-r/space/as received. But in an effort to help you and to make things short, you can go to mlo.bz space, and we will get to the same location. That's mlo.bz/itu space. Now, when we get to this page, what we can do is we can search the documents that the ITU has received. So these are documents as the ITU received them. We can see here the most recent registry date is July 31st, 2020. Remember, European dates use date, month, year, rather than the US model of month, day, year. So 31, the 31st day of July 2020. What do we have? Well, we can look at the administration, the UAE, United Arab Emirates, Russia, China. We can even search just by country. So we can select the administration. We're going to go down to the US. And just to show an example, you know, the focus on ITU filings really came, I guess, among the satellite field and others, space, those interested in space, astronomers, departments of astronomy, professional, amateur astronomers, all became focused on satellites and their filings when Starlink obtained authorization for and then launched Starlink, or SpaceX obtained authorization for and launched Starlink satellites. After obtaining authorization for about 12,000 in the US, then there was an additional submission for coordination requests with the ITU for up to 30,000 more Starlink satellites. So that created a number of interesting vectors coming together and paying attention to this. So as an example then, in that context, let's search for USA. And I had done a little bit of research before that when we found that it said the last week the ITU confirmed to space.com that it received filings from the US Federal Communications Commission. So last week, this is 10/21/19. Last week is when the ITU confirmed that it had received filings. So we're looking at about the date of October. Remember now, this is the US version of dates, October 21st, 2019. So when we go back to search US, we're going to go just backwards here because we may not know the station satellite name. You might put in Starlink, you might put in SpaceX, but you'd be interested to know that you're not going to find what you're looking for, and I'll show you why. So let's go back to about October 2019. We're here in November. We don't have to go too far. And then let's look down here at these NTC IDs. Administration is USA because we chose USA. Satellite name, USA satellite. The filing date is around there. We don't really see anything 1014. Notification of space station. I think let's just try this one. It'll load up. And what we can do is click on the document. And we see the letter from the FCC, coordination request for USA SAT NGSO 3W1. We look a little bit further, and the application, the operating agency for the network is Space Exploration Technologies Corp. That is SpaceX. And I almost can pretty much guarantee that if we went and looked at some of the others, you can get into this document here. Let's just see if Starlink, see, Starlink doesn't even show up here. But if we go back, I imagine that many of the other documents, the coordination requests for USA SAT by the USA, are going to be for SpaceX. And again, Space Exploration Technologies Corp. So remember that you can go and search here very easily. MLO.BZ/ITU space is a shortcut for you through MUD Law. You can look for the documents, search by the administration or the government, submission type. We could look at coordination request, which was what SpaceX had filed on the 7th of October, 2019. There are a number of others here, radio astronomy stations, etc. You can also search by orbit filter, GSO or NGSO. So this went to try to give a little bit more context on the connection between the FCC, which manages spectrum allocation for the United States within our country. And when we go beyond to internationally, seeking international coordination, where if we're a private company, we go through the FCC to the ITU. There's no direct application by a US private company to the ITU. We go through the FCC. So thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Please feel free to explore some of the other video links available on From Swarm to Starlink by me, Charles Mudd of MUD Law.